In this video, we are going to be looking at the different parts of the image. That is what we're going to be looking at. There's much information to be shared concerning this image and the different parts. So because of the amount of information that I have to share, I want to let you know I'm going to do it in different videos. If you realize we have 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 different parts represented by this image. And so we got to, as it were, find out exactly what these different parts represent. Remember that we are dealing with prophecy, and prophecy is written in symbolic language. So we have to decode the symbols to get to understand exactly the message God will have us to understand in these prophecies that He has placed in the Bible. And so I want to say welcome to a moment in prophecy, and thank you for joining me. I want to also say how much I appreciate you taking out the time and joining me in these studies. I really appreciate it, and I know God is going to bless you. I want to also ask you please to save the video and to share it with your friends and your family. I assure you that God is going to bless you and your family tremendously just by sharing the Word of God. And so again I say thank you for sharing and welcome to a moment in prophecy. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is that I'm going to just share with you the different parts. I want to let you know upfront that the different parts represent different nations. But because of the amount of information that we have to share, I cannot do it in this one video. So I'm going to share the different parts with you. Then I'm going to come back and one by one share the different nations represented by the different parts and let you know why it is so important that we pay attention to the different parts of this image. So join me now as I start to describe, as written in the book of Daniel, the different parts of this image. So let us look at the head here. And Daniel chapter 2 and verse 36 to 38 says that this is the head of gold. The first part here is the head of gold. And this is a representation of a nation, which I will tell you later. And then we come down to the arms and chest. The arms and chest here is of silver. Daniel chapter 2 and verse 39. So the arms and chest here is of silver. Daniel 2 and verse 39. Then we come down to the belly and thighs. The belly and thighs is of bronze. The belly and thighs is of bronze, based on Daniel chapter 2 and also verse 39. These also is a representation of a nation, the belly and bronze. Then we come down to the legs. The legs and the legs is of iron. The legs here is of iron. That is also a representation of another nation, which you're going to learn later. Then we go down to the feet and the toes. The feet and the toes is of partly potter's clay and partly of iron. Take note of that. It's extremely important that we take note of that. These are also representation of not only one nation, but many nations, which we are going to discover later as we continue this study. I want to thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for being a part of this study. I just want to run through quickly again with you the different parts of the image. First of all, the head is of gold. Then we have the arms and the chest of silver. The arms and the chest of silver. Then we have the belly and the thighs. The belly and the thighs is of bronze. The belly and the thighs is of bronze. And then the legs down here is of iron. The legs is of iron. And then finally, the feet and the toes. The feet and the 10 toes are partly potter's clay and partly iron. Each one of these have a significance to a nation which we are to pay attention to. May God bless you, and please join me in my next video as I get into the details in explaining these different parts of the image and why we should pay attention to the different nations represented by these different parts. May God bless you and continue to trust Him, for He is able.